Joe Scanlon joining us from Mountain View Boys Soccer here on the Mendola Show. And Joe, it was a great run for you guys. You ran into a buzzsaw of a team in Camp Hill, but you went further than any other District 2 team. Let's talk about all the successes this year for Mountain View.
Yeah, we're really proud of the guys' performances all year. We started off, for a lot of these guys, it started in June. They kind of came right out to open soccer 3 times a week, and we're just getting after it and conditioning themselves, and that just makes such a difference during the season when you don't have to take care of those fitness issues. And then, throughout the year, we approached every game. Didn't matter if it was a preseason game, non-league game, league game. We approached them all like a playoff situation, and because of that, we only dropped 2 games during the league to Scranton Prep, which is a great team. So yeah, we really had a good run, and I think it's credit to these guys for kind of sticking to it all year and never really giving up or slowing down no matter what the situation was.
Positive of the first state playoff game against the Millville team that you guys come out and you guys are able to get the job done. And you hear year in and year out, doesn't matter what the team is, baseball, field hockey, soccer.
Yeah.
Boy, we didn't play that well. We really struggled, but you guys able to get a state win under your belt feels really good for the program.
Yeah, definitely. It was the first win for our team since the team that went to the state final in 2013. So it was a great accomplishment for this class. They really put it all together in that Millville game. It kind of seemed like a full team effort, defensive end in the attack. Everyone was just kind of clicking that day, and we played a tough Millville team, and we came out 4-0, which is a solid win in the soccer world. So I was really proud of their effort, and we were hoping to ride that into the next round, but like you said, we ran into a really, really tough opponent that I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up in the state final this year. So yeah, really proud of that first state game for our guys.
We have 3 guys with us tonight, so take us through each of those fellas and what they have to offer, what they did offer this year.
Yeah, so all 3 of them were just huge impact players for our team. We had a very senior-heavy team, and they all played a huge role in our success. But these 3 guys were our 3 captains that our team voted on, and they all lead in their own way, whether it's by example or vocally. They all make a huge difference for us. So I'll start with Nick Blue up top. Right off the bat, first thing that comes to mind is a goal scorer. You can always count on him to get in the attack, get some goals for us, get dangerous opportunities, and that just makes a team so dangerous no matter who you're playing. If you have a guy up top you can rely on every single game to kind of become dangerous, that's just a huge deal for us. And then Alex Schulwalter in the middle, very big physical presence. A guy you can rely on to break attacks up and also to get forward and join Nick up top. He wins balls out the air for us. He's good with his feet. He's technical. He can thread through passes very easily. So he's just kind of an all-around player that you love to have on your team. And he ran the middle of the park for us because he's just such a physical presence there, and really helped us out all year long and made a big difference in our success this year. And then lastly, Anthony Neary, center back, technical. He could have played midfield. He could have played outside mid. A guy that loves to get forward, but we kept him in the back because he's just such a solid defender for our team, and he was a big reason we kept some teams off the board because he just came through and cleaned things up, and we were really at our best when he was defending and then kind of releasing out of that center back position, going forward with his technical ability and making teams scramble, because now all of a sudden we have a center back coming forward, and a guy like him who's so technical makes a big difference for us.
One of the things at Mountain View is you're not in competition with football. People are out there that want to compete and play soccer, and soccer is a big deal for the Mountain View Eagles. You were part of that program. Now as an assistant coach, you're part of the program, now the head coach. Talk about growing up in the Mountain View area and how soccer is looked at, and obviously you looked at it a certain way, and you hope it's continued to be looked at for years to come.
Right, definitely. I came through the program. The youth program is just huge, and it helps that you don't have football competing for these athletes and these players who are interested in soccer. And a lot of our younger kids are gaining interest in going down to Scranton at Riverfront, going to Binghamton and playing up there. And the more success the varsity team sees, the more interest the younger guys have, and that just kind of builds the program all the way up through. I came through, and I remember watching the early 2000 teams have success, and that's when it all started for me, the interest being like, hey, I want to be one of those guys that are going to a district championship. And then, my team came through, my group came through, and we had success in the district tournament and so on and so forth until the state final team. And these guys that are here with me today were part of that group that saw the state finals when they were young. They were in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, and their interest just continued from there. And the program just continues to build because of all these guys' success, and hopefully that continues through and with the program moving forward.
had some influences in your playing career with some coaches.
Yes.
Of course, now you have all the little things that a coach has. You're dealing with parents and kids and teachers, administrators, referees, all the little paperwork stuff you have to do. You put it all in a nutshell, even though you got all these little things coming at you. In the end, you got to love what you do. Talk about the passion you have for the game.
Yeah, I really knew I loved soccer from when I was a young kid, and I really loved all sports. But my interest in soccer really grew when I went to Misericordia to play. I just gained a new respect and love for the game because I went from playing 3 sports in high school to now everything is all about soccer. And Coach Charles Aikens up in Misericordia really had a huge impact on my love for the game because he was so passionate about the sport. And it just continued to grow for me from there. And I tried to continue playing after college and had a little bit of success with some teams post-college. And ever since then, I've just been in love with it. And all the outside noise that comes with parents, and administrators, like you said, referees, the stress of managing a team, just kind of goes away when you're on the field with these guys and you're at practice and you're in the games. And it's just that love never really fades from me.
Joe, great to catch up with you and hear a little bit about your story at Mountain View. Congratulations on a fantastic season. I know you're proud of all your guys and continued success down the road.
Yes, definitely. I'm very proud of them, and I appreciate you having us on the show here. And it's great to have the exposure for our guys because they work hard just like all the other schools, and we appreciate it.
Alex Showalter joining us from the Mountain View soccer team here on the John Mendola Show. And Alex, made a name for yourself. You guys have made a name for yourselves at Mountain View with your soccer program. Talk about being an Eagle, what that's been like for you over your career.
First year, it's pretty much an expectation at this point to win a district title. So it was definitely great to win back-to-back my junior and senior year. And a couple years ago, they won the state championship. So it's been great to play for 4 years for one of the greatest programs in the area. So that's been a pleasure.
You probably had some guys that you've looked up to that have come through the Mountain View program over the years and said, hey, I want to be like that guy or this guy. Coach Scanlon was probably one of those guys that people looked up to at one time, and then guys like Colby and Zane and guys like that. Talk a little bit about what that was like over the years.
Coach Joe always tells us stories about when he was in school, so it's always fun to hear about them. And then coming up, watching Colby, Zeb, and Dylan do what they do, and all the other guys to contribute to a state championship team definitely led the way to how we play and how we lead for our teams now.
Talk about your position, midfield, and what you do. You make the show happen, or you kind of finish the show? What's going on there?
I do a little bit of both. Nick is up top. He's a great finisher, one of the best strikers in the area, probably in the state. So my job is to either play it up to him, and he plays back and I finish, or I make the play for him to score. And then I definitely get up and down to play defense also.
Fun times with other sports. Let's talk about basketball and baseball, things you're really serious about. You just kind of do to kind of complete your sports career.
Basketball I'm not so serious about. I play. I've been a starter for the last 2 years, so that's been fun. And then baseball I take pretty serious. So I like baseball. My favorites definitely go soccer, baseball, and basketball. So
let's talk about the career for you, college-wise. Is soccer something you'd like to do at that next level?
Yeah, I've been thinking really hard about playing at the next level. I've talked to a couple of coaches that got colleges around here to play, so I definitely have to look into that more.
How about your sister, who's a little bit older, or what kind of relationship do you have with her? What are some things maybe you've learned from her?
We were really tight when she was in high school. She won 3 district championships when she was a player at Mountain View, so I definitely looked up to her on how she led and played when she was at Mountain View.
Let's talk about your dad and how he inspires you as a role model.
Yeah, my dad, it's actually a joke because I always called Joe Scanlon as my dad. So I always used to joke with him that he was my dad. He's been a great role model for me for the last 4 years coaching. He always keeps it fun at practice, and he played the same position I do, so he's always taught me most of what I've learned the last 4 years.
Let's talk a little bit about history. One of your favorite subjects in school?
History's always been one of my favorite, and especially last year since my teacher used to coach at Mountain View soccer, so his name's Mr. Bain. He was a great coach, so history's always been my favorite subject throughout school.
You've got some fun stuff you guys like to do for team bonding. Talk about some things you guys do.
Well, one of our things is pasta dinner that we go to our one friend's house, the whole team, and we just eat pasta like a couple nights before a game. We've done that. And we build a shrine is what we call it, and we just take a bunch of old beat up stuff that we find and make a shrine out of it in the woods or at our school.
Well, that sounds like a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is.
Well, Alex, we appreciate your time. We wish you the best going forward in your college career, and hope soccer is a part of it.
Yep, thank you.
Anthony Neary joining us from the Mountain View soccer team here on the Joe Mendola Show. And Anthony, let's talk about a special year. You guys winning the district championship again, and heading into the state playoffs had to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it felt good. To go back to back, it was just wonderful. And then get to the first round of states. It's just something special every year, especially to beat a team that we lost to last year. No one thought we could beat, and just go in there and like beat them 4-0. It just means a lot to us as a program.
Let's talk about the league play. You guys facing teams, week in and week out. What were some of the competition like there in the Lackawanna League?
We had a very good league, I thought. Some tough teams, definitely like Montrose hung with us. Lakeland even hung with us. Our first game with them, they were up 3-0 at one point in the beginning, and we came back and ended up winning. With 10 minutes left, we came back. One of the powerhouses in our league was Scranton Prep. Ended up winning the league, won their district too. Lost to them twice, but just like learning was like the most important part of that game.
Some of the guys we're talking to tonight, talk about that cohesion you guys had out there on the field, what that bond was like.
We just played like we've all played since we were like very young, so like we all know how to play with each other, when to get mad, when to not get mad, and stuff like that. Since we just played with each other for so long.
Let's talk about you, baseball and basketball. Again, we talked to Alex a little bit about some of his sports. How about for you? Something you enjoy as well?
Yeah, I really enjoy baseball a lot. I would love to try and further my career in either that or soccer. Basketball, I'd love to do just like stay in shape. It's just fun to like get along with my friends and play there, and I enjoy all the coaching that I have.
Got a couple younger sisters. I'm sure they look up to you, and you have your normal everyday sister-brother stuff that goes on. But in the end, talk about your relationship with them and how you feeling that they look up to you, and maybe you could rub off a little bit of that positive energy.
Yeah, I got two younger sisters. One's in 7th grade and one is now a sophomore. The sophomore, I believe, actually just looks up to me when I'm playing soccer because he plays the same position as me, has like the same style that I do and everything. I ended up getting first team All-Stars this year, and she ended up doing it too, so she must be doing something right, or like looking at me, you're doing something, picking up from her coaches, so good for her.
College for you, you're kind of torn between two majors, between law enforcement and sports medicine, two good fields.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure on which one I want to go for. I've been torn for years on them, but I guess only time can tell which one I really want to go for.
Mom and Dad, let's talk about their role with you and how they've kind of rounded you into a nice young man.
Mom and Dad have just always supported me through thick and thin and all that stuff like that. Whenever something went bad or whenever something went good, they were always by my side saying it will get better or just anything like that. They were always like just picking me up if I ever needed it, and it was really good.
Coach Scanlon, young, talented guy, seems like a positive energy kind of guy as well. Talk about your relationship with him and what do you think he means to Mountain View soccer?
He just means so much. Come in and just turn the program around. Like Roger did a great job last year, but just for Coach Joe to come in and do what he did first year, it just means a lot to this program. And hopefully he sticks around just for like the generations of Mountain View to come.
Anthony, great to catch up with you. It sounds like you're going to have yourself a bright future, that's for sure. Continued success.
Thank you very much.
Nick Palou, a senior from the Mountain View soccer program here at the Joe Mendola Show. And Nick, you play forward, so you have some guys around you that could get you the ball. Talk about what you were able to do out there on the field this year along with your teammates.
Well, Alex Showalter running the middle with Cooper Marr, that definitely contributed to getting the ball forward and possessing the ball up in their end. And that gave me the opportunity to push shots in the net. That came from the back with Anthony Neary, Stephen Morden in the back, working the ball up to Cooper and Alex and distributing me the ball really well.
Joe Scanlon, let's talk about your coach. When he played soccer, where he played and what he tries to do to work with you guys to play the positions you play out there.
Well, my position, I guess, is more like based on finishing during practice and possession. He incorporates that really well with shooting drills and possession, definitely.
For you, let's talk about trying to influence some of these younger guys in the program because there's been such a good tradition at Mountain View. What did you try to do to get the message to some of the younger players on the Eagles?
Well, being a senior and being a leader on the team, I try to do that with the younger freshmen coming up. Mike DeWolf, Zach Polovich, two of our outside mids. Just talking with them like during the game and like off the game during practice, and just telling them what they can do, improve.
Baseball, something else you do? Talk about how you get along with your teammates over here that play baseball as well, and another sport that's probably pretty serious at Mountain View. Soccer might be one, but baseball's up there.
Yeah, well, baseball isn't like my serious sport, I would say, but it's a good sport at Mountain View. But we focus on soccer, I would say, at Mountain View. It's our best sport, and yeah, it's definitely a good time to be with friends and have a little competition.
Let's talk about some of that competition in the league, and Anthony mentioned that Lakeland and Montrose were pretty good this year. Tell us about playing those teams this season.
Lakeland, that was a fun game because we were down 3-0 with 10 minutes to go, and I scored a hat trick to bring us back into the game. Then we won that with an own goal in overtime. And Montrose, that was a rough game. They're a very solid team, and it was just a good match for us early in the season.
Win against Millville probably felt pretty good. You guys did a nice job in the opening round of states. Talk about what that felt like to get a state win.
I mean, that felt like that like improved our stamina definitely, and that boosted our morale to get us going and get as far as we can, so we're having advance.
Talk about your siblings. You got a couple of them, so tell us a little bit about each.
I have a brother that I look up to, and I learn a lot from my brother, and I try to pass that down to my sister, my younger sister, definitely.
How about your dad? Talk about him as a role model.
I looked up to my father. He's always been there. He taught me life lessons. I just look up to him.
Great to hear. Nick, in college, is soccer in the future for you?
If I can, yeah, definitely. I would play soccer in college.
How about a career? What path are you looking at right now?
I'm looking to go into business for my education there.
Well, Nick Ballou, we thank you for your time. A great season at Mountain View. You guys made it further than any other District 2 team, and we wish you the best going forward.
Thank you for having me.